When the world's biggest stage becomes a battlefield, one call decides everything. Stadium Siege.
The Super Bowl just became ground zero for America's culture war. On one side, Turning Point USA's Kid Rock performance that had Christians confused. On the other, Bad Bunny's Spanish language spectacle that left 100 million English-plus speaking Americans sitting in bewildered silence. But here's what the mainstream media won't tell you about what really happened. See, this isn't just about entertainment, this is about who controls American culture. When the NFL chooses performers singing in foreign languages over English-speaking artists, they're making a statement about who really matters in America. Meanwhile, conservative alternatives like Turning Point USA's halftime show face mockery and division from even their own supporters. Yes, your kids are watching and they're seeing American traditions sidelined while foreign influences take center stage at our most American sporting event. The culture war is incoming, it's here, and it's playing out during primetime television with your family watching. And speaking of things that should concern every American family, if you're over 40 and you're planning to retire someday, the window to protect what you have built may be smaller than you realize. Your portfolio, is it built for what's coming next? Many investors in their 40s and 50s have no exposure to precious metals. Their savings are tied to markets, government policy, and paper assets with very little protection if conditions change. As retirement moves from someday to right around the corner, protecting what you've built becomes just as important as growing it. That's where Noble Gold Investment comes in. They help investors reduce risk by adding physical gold to their portfolios. No pressure, no sales gimmicks, just clear answers and a strategy built around your goals. Visit nextnewsgold.com. Again, that's nextnewsgold.com, or call that number on the screen to find out how you can get one of these 3-ounce American Virtues silver rounds into your collection. But here's where this story gets even more revealing. Bad Bunny allegedly deleted his entire Instagram account after the performance. Even he doesn't want to be associated with what happened. Meanwhile, Kid Rock facing criticism for lip syncing, but supporters claim the pre-recorded old songs versus live new material was intentional symbolism. The real question, why does the NFL think Spanish language performances represent America better than English-speaking artists? Well, we have this now just in. Kid Rock responding to the lip sync allegations. He says something very telling here, because in my initial allegations, when I watched it, sitting with family and friends, the first thing we saw was a train wreck disaster of lip syncing. Kid Rock, I'm a fan, I mean, jumping around on stage, but clearly lip syncing. And I was, the theatrics, the stage, very cool, but, it looked like a small sound stage, didn't look like something very impressive, but nonetheless, I understand what it takes to pull off a production like this, so it was no small feat. But there's something that Kid Rock says here in this video that is very telling, because my initial reaction right out the gate was that his first performance was completely pre-recorded. And you could tell by the edit points and when they cut to black, and then all of a sudden, like literally, it's like you hear the crowd, but then the screen goes black, and the crowd continues, that audio track continues, and then it cuts to Kid Rock on stage. And then immediately after that, you have another cut to black, a fade to black, and then it shows up again, and you have the soft orchestral performance set up in the front of the stage. Now, in order for a stage crew, to produce that kind of efficient resetting of a stage in that much time, it's virtually impossible. I mean, you literally have to cut to a completely different stage, and that's why my allegations stand with respect to the pre-recorded nature of this. I give Turning Point USA 100% credit for doing what they did. Let's not mix my allegations and criticisms of it. But when you claim something is live and it's not, you're being dishonest to your audience. Now, why would they pre-record this? Well, Kid Rock claims that they didn't. Well, yes, perhaps maybe the other parts of the show were not pre-recorded. But listen to what he says here. I just saw this clip right before we went to air, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm listening to him, and you'll listen, you'll hear it for yourself, and I'll let you be the judge, and I'll tell you what I'm thinking.
Yeah, so it was out of sync. And actually, just to have some fun with the haters, I can't answer all the trolls, but it's going to be some fun. My DJ, who actually raps that song with me, he was not lit up. He's coming to Nashville tonight, flying in, and we're going to do that live in my living room, and I'm going to post it tomorrow to show people exactly how this works. Because, number one, if it would have been a lip syncing like people are trying to, you know, the left is trying to throw me under the bus again, and the mainstream media and social media tries to amplify it, it would have been super easy to sync it up if it was pre-recorded. It was very difficult.
Okay, so yes, that's my first criticism. If it was pre-recorded, it would have been very easy to sync it up. Well, to me, that just means it was sloppy. Just a real sloppy job of editing.
For the Turning Point production crew, who, by the way, I can't say enough good things about, but this was very difficult for them. I'm jumping around the stage like a rabid monkey, rapping my song, and I'm taking breaths, and my DJ's filling in the other parts of it. And it was I even told him when I saw the rough cut, I was like, you guys got to work on that sync. It's off.
So he says, when I saw the rough cut, he just said that it wasn't pre-recorded, but if it wasn't pre-recorded, how could you see a rough cut? I mean, he just revealed it right there on Laura Ingram's show. Didn't even realize what he was saying. Did you hear that?
He's coming to Nashville tonight, flying in, and we're going to do that live in my living room, and I'm going to post it tomorrow to show people exactly how this works. Because, number one, if it would have been a lip syncing like people are trying to, you know, the left is trying to throw me under the bus again, and the mainstream media and social media tries to amplify it, it would have been super easy to sync it up if it was pre-recorded. It was very difficult for the Turning Point production crew, who, by the way, I can't say enough good things about, but this was very difficult for them. I'm jumping around the stage like a rabid monkey, rapping my song, and I'm taking breaths, and my DJ's filling in the other parts of it. And it was I even told him when I saw the rough cut, I was like, you guys got to work on that sync. It's off. So it was just a syncing issue that they had, and I know they tried to get it right. It was very difficult, but I'll answer all the haters tomorrow, and we'll put them back in the shut up and go back to trying to report the fake news.
I mean, okay, so you heard him say it right there. If it was pre-recorded, blah, 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 but then I saw the rough cut. Someone please explain that to me. I mean, I've been in production for over 20 years. I know exactly what that means. So I think that Kid Rock really just slipped of the tongue there, revealed exactly what happened. Unbelievably, Kid Rock lip-synced the whole show. Here's a video of him putting the microphone down several times. His lyrics kept going off. What a Republican ripoff. Now, I don't believe he lip-synced the whole show. I do believe that he only lip-synced this part of the show. So the lip-sync accusations against Kid Rock are only the beginning. Wait until you see what Eric Spracklin is saying about the actual halftime show. He says it was the worst Super Bowl of all time. New England didn't even deserve to be there. Bad Bunny halftime show was gay propaganda. The game itself was awful. The only good thing was that the Seahawks didn't allow the Patriots to win another ring. Spracklin wasn't done yet. His next tweet takes this criticism to an explosive new level about deportations. Bad Bunny's halftime performance was so universally hated, he might have actually done more for mass deportations than Trump is. Google searches for ICE tip line surge during Latinx superstar Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime. Now that's funny. Now, Eric Spracklin bringing Charlie Kirk into the mess, setting up a perfect segue to the TP USA pre-recorded lip-sync atrocity. Charlie Kirk would have never have let this happen. And what's funny is that Eric was actually reposting the video I had presented with similar criticism. Speaking of Turning Point USA, they're celebrating something completely different while the criticism is flying. Turning Point USA says, what a show. Thank you to everyone who tuned in for our All-American Halftime Show. What was your favorite part? Well, personally, I was just waiting for Kid Rock to show up. I didn't really know who any of these other performers were. So that was like my big thing. I like Kid Rock. I like his music. And of course, when he shows up, I'm like, wait a minute. Like my guests in my house were like, wait, this is, they're going to get roasted for this. This is the worst lip sync I've ever seen. And while TPUSA celebrates the political heavyweights are weighing in and Trump has thoughts, Trump goes off on Bad Bunny's performance. Nobody understands a word this guy is saying. The dancing is disgusting, especially for young children that are watching. President Trump's Super Bowl halftime is terrible, one of the worst. ever. Makes no sense. It's an affront to greatness of America. Doesn't represent our standards of success, creativity, or excellence. Nobody understands a word this guy is saying. The dancing is disgusting for our young children that are watching throughout the USA and all over the world. This show isn't just a slap in the face to our country, which is setting new standards and records every single day, including the best stock market and 401k in history. There's nothing inspirational about this mess of a halftime show. And watch, it will get great reviews from the fake news media because they haven't got a clue of what's going on in the real world. And by the way, the NFL should immediately replace its ridiculous kickoff rule. Make America great again, President Donald J. Trump. And Trump's criticism is getting amplified by supporters who are claiming victory with some interesting statistics. Final, MAGA boss, according to TMZ, the Turning Point USA halftime show was a hit, with 71% of Americans over Bad Bunny. That's a TMZ poll. Who had the better halftime show? Regardless of the criticisms of Kid Rock and the Christian themes that were presented, he did win over. All the practical noise, but let's get to what people saw during the performance itself. After years of grinding, Piano Dean writes, rehearsals, auditions, perfecting my stand perfectly, still in photosynthesized technique, I can finally say I've achieved my lifelong dream. I was one of the Bushes in Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime show. Yes, that's right. That's hilarious. This guy, one of the Bushes, there's actually a person there. That's hilarious. That's so funny. The bamboo forest was not just a set piece. There's a human story behind the Bushes. The only cool part of the Bad Bunny halftime show is they set up a whole ass bamboo forest midfield. Yeah, so who cares, really, honestly. The Bushes, everyone's talking about, they were real people, and social media is having a field day. The Bushes for Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime were actual people. Bad Bunny's halftime show opener was a total flop. This is bad. Viewer discretion advised. I don't even know if I want to click here. I'm not sure what I'm going to see. I don't want to subject you to it. All the division with the alternate halftime show for what? Just for Bad Bunny to come out preaching love over hate and put out the best halftime show? Oh, really? He made Turning Point USA look silly? Well, I saw the set list of what Bad Bunny was singing. I saw the translated lyrics, and I was appalled at what I saw. And then we have this from our own Next News Network. The Super Bowl halftime show had two men grinding on each other. This has two men sprinting full speed trying to destroy each other. One of these is the America I Know. Apparently this is a new extreme sport that's coming out. Run Nation, I guess it's called. That was a video going viral by Daily Loud. New combat sport league where heavyweights just sprint full speed into each other. The criticism continues, but now we have this. The worst part about Kid Rock lip-syncing the Turning Point Super Bowl. They opened his performance on a solid black screen. They ended on a solid black screen as if we wouldn't notice it was pre-recorded, but the real crime, it wasn't even live. And that's my criticism again. That segment, at least that segment wasn't live. And it would make perfect sense if the whole thing was in fact pre-recorded. Because they have to have everybody standing in wait for that perfect moment when the halftime, because it's never really the same moment the halftime begins. If one of the quarters is extended or timeouts or whatever happens, it's a variable moment. So it would make perfect sense to pre-record the entire thing and then load it up into a server. I mean, it's very simple. I mean, there's software you can do it. You can play the file and just let it go when it's time to go. It's not a difficult process, and I know that Turning Point surely has that fact down. So my main criticism is that at least from what I can tell, the initial Kid Rock performance was pre-recorded, and it's likely that the entire show was pre-recorded as well. Charlie Kirk would not have approved of Kid Rock's pre-recorded lip-sync Super Bowl performance. That's my take. Boycott the halftime show. Michael Jackson standing still for 2 minutes without doing anything is better than Bad Bunny's entire career. I remember seeing that Super Bowl performance of Michael Jackson when I was younger, wondering, he's just standing there for 2 minutes, literally. Well, from boycotts to brutal comparisons, the takes are getting more savage. I said, but I'll take a shitty Kid Rock lip sync. I'll take a shitty Kid Rock lip sync over Bad Bunny twerking in Spanish. And Bad Bunny had deleted his entire Instagram after the halftime show because clearly he doesn't want to be associated with that performance, in my opinion. Everyone talking about that following. But I think this was probably one of the most revealing moments I saw on social media I took to and decided needed to amplify. This is what it looks like when the NFL tells 100+ million English-speaking Americans to sit down and shut up at their own Super Bowl. A stadium full of fans who paid $5,000 a ticket, standing in confused silence while two people dance to lyrics nobody understands. The NFL sending a clear message: this is not for you anymore. So you see the crowd there. They're looking at each other going, what are we even listening to? What is he even saying? The majority of that crowd does not speak that language. And the NFL clearly doesn't care. It was a massive virtue signal by the NFL. There might be a plot twist, though. If Kid Rock, this was something I posted last night, if Kid Rock had two women grinding on each other during Turning Point halftime, every media outlet in America would be running segments about the degradation of women, but two men doing it in the NFL stage, it's called culture. That clip was going viral all last night. Disgusting. And sadly, people's children were watching. And and I dragged Kid Rock pretty hard after the whole thing. This morning I woke up and I'm like, let's see if there's any more fallout. I saw a post that I felt needed to be, well, it really hit me because lip sync or not, there was a story arc I think that was trying to be presented. I dragged Kid Rock, the Kid Rock lip sync last night hard, but this take stopped me in my tracks. The lip sync was only on Bawita Daba, The Old Life. The live performance was the redemption. It's not production failure, that's a statement. There seems to be a lot of confusion, especially from the Christian community about Kid Rock's performance. Kid Rock started his set by performing as Kid Rock and then transitioned into his actual birth name, singing a song about Christ. So it was like there was like a metamorphosis, a transition from the old life to the new life. Maybe that's the metaphor that was trying to be presented here. Some people saw it. I'm not sure how many people actually got it, but that's the take. So here's the moment that reveals everything. The footage you saw, 75,000 people sitting in confused silence while two performers dance to lyrics nobody understands. This is what it looks like when the NFL tells English-speaking Americans to sit down and shut up at their own Super Bowl. The message is clear. Your culture does not matter anymore. And the battle lines are drawn. On one side, you have corporate America pushing foreign languages and values during America's biggest sporting event. On the other, you have grassroots conservative movements trying to offer alternatives even when they're imperfect. Now, it's not about Kid Rock or Bad Bunny. It's about whether American culture will survive in America. The NFL made their choice. Turning Point USA made theirs. The question is, which America do you want your children to inherit? One where English-speaking traditions take a back seat to foreign influences, or one where American values come first? Let me know in the comments, and while you're engaging, check out the Next News merch shop to show where you stand in this culture war.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now. You know out.